in a
Oh
house that's
yeah, I
like
remember
similar to
that
that.
day with a guy.
Is that wait? Is that your house?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and someone was
Yeah,
like, "Hey, Woody, do you want to go on a helicopter ride?" And he's like, "I can just land in your yard." So that's what we
that
He
did.
is
did.
that is a capacious abode. That is.
Imagine if
The
he crashed into your home.
he gave me
Dude, it
a
would
headset
have
to
been
wear,
livable.
and it
He'd have still
pinched
been
my.
able to stay there that night.
Yeah.
He only destroyed the West Wing.
The headset made me
it'll be
look
days
so
before the
fat.
fire reaches the East Wing. It's fine.
So was this guy? How old was he? How old was the helicopter pilot?
I'm gonna call. I don't know, but call him 40, 38, something like that.
And
Yeah.
he just randomly one day he texted or messaged you and then just showed up with this.
Yeah, so he's in paramotor people are often into aviation. I'm not really,
Makes
but
sense.
other people are. And his day job was basically pouring Roundup on electrical wires so that like the trees and the weeds and the vines don't grow up the poles. So that helicopter's purpose was to spray
Oh.
something like Roundup. I don't know what he used
Yeah,
exactly.
get it from the chopper. That's neat.
Agent
Yeah.
Orange.
And it was pretty cool because the act of spraying that stuff is a little bit like just aerobatics. Like he would dive to the ground. He didn't spray with me, but he showed me what it was like. He'd
Mhm.
like dive the helicopter to the ground, level out, go across it, and then go way up and like curl around and come back. And it was like a roller coaster. It was pretty cool. And he
Yeah.
was a really good pilot. So he auto rotating a landing, I think, is something that you're supposed to be able to do, but it's so sketch. Nobody practices it and everybody sucks. This guy, it was nothing to him. He did 2 of them while we were flying.
That's cool.
What's auto rotating and landing?
So when you fall, you build up a lot of speed, if I understand it right, on the rotor, the helicopter prop
Oh, do
thing.
you mean like turning off the engine?
Yeah. And then
Oh, yeah. So
he
yeah,
builds a
I
lot of
understand.
energy, and then I guess you flip the collective or something and
Yeah.
make that start
Although
working for you. And it,
yeah, the
the-
outside of the blades travels faster than the inside of the blades, so it generates lift. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's
Well,
I didn't think it was called that. I thought that was like an emergency landing or something. Auto
It is.
rotating.
It is
Yeah.
an emergency. It is, but he practiced
Yeah.
the emergency landings and just basically he pretended the ground was about 10 feet higher than it was. So it's like he went really soft to that spot and then turned it on.
You've
So,
been recommending a lot of stupid flying devices to me lately.
Who has YouTube?
YouTube, yeah.
Okay.
So there's this $500,000 drone you can fly. It has a 30-minute battery life. It requires no licensing though. That's the cool thing. You can just hop right into this thing and take off.
How much is a
And-
license? $498,000.
I mean, it's like $5,000 in a lot of your time. But
okay.
this thing you can just hop right in and kill yourself if you want. It's got tons of smaller rotors on it. Like I don't know how many, like dozens of them.
30
And
minutes doesn't seem like long enough.
No,
Right? Especially like imagine you fly, I don't know, 12 minutes from home and now you want to go home. And you're like, I don't know. Can I make it home? Can I not? Is there a headwind? Did
Let's
you go
head home now.
downwind?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks super sketchy. And then the jetpack, all those different jetpacks. Those
Oh,
things
yeah.
look so cool.
Yeah.
Those jetpacks
Have you
look
have
so
you seen the
cool.
people like eating shit on them? They're fucking hilarious.
At
Like,
the F1 race, I think the guy went
Yeah.
down.
oh, that's
So
so
the-
fucking funny.
The way it works, at least in America, is if the flying device weighs less than 255, so 254 and under, then you don't need a license. And it's pretty cool. Like it's a smart way for the FAA to do it. I almost said FCC because it becomes a personal decision. Like if Taylor hops in an airplane, then he could be a public menace.
Mhm.
If Taylor hops on a paramotor, then he's making a personal decision. You could crash into my living room window and we'll all just giggle at the accident.
I just
right?
bounce
like,
off.
yeah, like you're not doing
Yeah.
any damage.
That's the next Twin Towers.
He'll be damaged, but
So is
how-
every single
paramotor just flying into the side of a skyscraper and everyone just laughs at him?
Yeah.
just
Splats
a
it inside.
retarded terrorist
Yeah,
flying into the 3rd floor,
yeah.
bouncing off the window and being arrested.
Yeah, right.
Oh, look more! And then just
Was that a
hits-
bird? I wonder if his beak
Yeah.
is smashed in.
Yeah, it's like, damn, they're getting lazy over there at
Yeah.
flight school.
I've never seen a paramotor in Australia. I can't
Oh,
say it's
no?
a thing.
Paraglider?
I don't. Oh, paraglider or like
Neither.
whatever the fuck they're called. They're like it must be like a law that is different here, but I've never seen one. Can't say I've ever seen one.
Oh no, there's a scene over there. People
Oh, there is?
fly. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I'm wrong then.
How about
It's
hot
a
air
small,
balloons?
it's a small time hobby. But even growing up, I saw every now and then there'd be a guy flying one. I remember there was a
Yeah.
this is a weird childhood memory. This came to someone crashed a hot air balloon next to our house one time. Like they went
Really?
down in the field right next to our house, like right there,
Cool.
next to where the farm driveway is, and they were hurt, and it was all laid over sideways. I just remembered that. That's forever ago. Why would you ever get in a fucking hot air balloon?
Because
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
cool.
Yeah, it seems
Quiet
like it could kind of
flight.
be neat.
No, that's like fuck that. That's like getting in a car and then just being like, I don't have a steering wheel. I'm just gonna accelerate and see what
Yeah,
happens.
that's the thing. I can totally understand how you control your altitude in these things. And
Yeah.
I can also kind of get bored how with like major strokes, you might know which direction the wind is going and alter your path a
Mhm.
little. Like you've got
Yeah.
a tiny amount of control over your destiny. But like I see these things fly all the time. They fly around my house. And when you're in the air and you see for so far, if there's a hot air balloon within like 100 miles of you, you're like, oh, let's go see the hot air balloon. Let's try and catch it. And when they land, it's always in some yard, like putting it down as fast as they can. The East Coast is covered with trees. If you don't do anything to land in my area, you get a forest in like 7 years, something like that. Like you'll have
Mhm.
trees that are 10 feet
Yeah.
high. And so my point behind that is that the only open land is intentionally maintained. There's some farms and some big yards and trees. So these guys have to like spot some power lines, spot some open field, and drop in a hurry. And they're always like little crash landings.
Yeah, it seems
But
super dangerous.
That's just dumb. That's like taking off in a plane and then you just like then the airport closes down and you can't land there again. It's like, ah, fuck it, I'll just wing it. It's
I'll
like,
just figure it out.
They always exactly these guys launch and just have like a general game plan. Like, yeah, there's
fuck
like,
that.
We're coming in
bunch of-
hot. We're going 7 miles an hour.
yeah,
And then they like land in a little fucking wicker basket, and it probably tips over every time they land, right? Like I imagine the
not every
momentum
time.
of it, like
it can, yeah, but I see them land and still have the like they're able to be not weightless anymore. Like they put it down, the balloon is still erect, but they're sitting on the ground.
they have like a hot air balloon race here every so often, where like there's a bunch of them up in the air. How much of that racing is like, oh, the Stevensons got into the fucking lucky air current again, and they're gonna win? Like, it's hard to imagine.
I'd
I suppose
cheat.
that'd be like
Actually, is that
sailing,
what it would be?
like,
Raising and lowering to try and put yourself just in different air currents?
I
I've heard
think
that,
so,
like
yeah.
you like throw shit out of it or you like spit out the side of it to see which direction.
If it's
we
a
shoot at the
race-
other balloonists.
So the
Yeah,
US
frowned
government
upon.
every single day launches hundreds of weather balloons. And I forget what the curve is called. Like there's an S curve, and they tell you like what the temperature was there, how quickly it rose there, and what the wind speeds were there. And then you can go to something like windy, and there's a bunch of spots where the balloons actually were. And then the rest of the country is just kind of, well, there was a balloon 20 miles north and 20 miles south. So we can infer the spot that you care more about. And I guess you'd look at those reality forecasts and the tests of the weather balloons and figure out where you should put your hot air balloon to win.
Probably there probably is so much more thought behind it, and I'm just
Yeah, I don't think
they
it's-
just get in their fucking thing and then go.
It's just luck. Yeah.
It's just
Same-
luck.
I
Anything
bet
I'm not
asshole gets
familiar
lucky
with is
every year.
stupid and luck.
Honestly, probably. I bet it's luck. I bet it's luck.
Yeah.
Did you see
how
we had
expensive
the-
would a hot air balloon be as well? Like, can you just?
There's no
like,
way it's
I
cheap.
can't
thousands
imagine
of
being like,
dollars.
of all the flying devices I could buy, I'm gonna get that fucking gay one. Like,
That's the cheapest
I-
one.
I'll
It's
get
gotta
it.
be. That's your
has
cheapest
to
way to
be.
the air.
Paragliding
No, it's
has to be the
huge.
cheapest.
You have to buy that
Paraglide,
giant
a
fucking balloon.
paraglide might be cheaper just because you need the mountain to do everything for you, the elevation maybe or whatever.
Yeah, hot air balloons are really
they're
big.
charging like $350 a person in Australia to go on one. Like that can't.
Yeah, but
must cost a
we're talking about
fortune.
wicker and canvas and something that burns kerosene, right?
Yeah,
Like
and like a-
otherwise, we're talking about fucking
Bunsen burner.
avionics and fuselages and fucking plane
It
engines.
says
and
about
shit.
$40,000 here. You could buy a fucking plane for that.
Get a plane.
Yeah,
cheaper
just
than
get a
that.
plane. If you want to
It's
fly,
It's not a good plane though.
My website says 20 grand to over 100. is how much they
Oh.
cost.
See, I want
$100,000
I want
a
one where the
balloon.
wicker part is just big enough for me. It's real
Yeah.
scary.
It's
in
probably
there.
cheaper. Yeah, just a
Yeah.
little wicker sleeve.
They call
Have you
it
ever
the-
seen that? That just made me think. You remember that video of the woman who got picked up after being injured in the middle of like the Arizona desert, and the fucking paramedics didn't hook up the sled
God,
thing
yes.
right, that they lifted
Oh.
her from a
Nah, that was
helicopter,
amazing.
and
Yeah.
she starts spinning so fucking rapidly that like I was like getting anxiety watching it, because I'm just like, oh my god, if I'm that poor woman, like
Did
I'm
she
having
die?
the worst.
No, she
I-
sued them.
She passed out, I think, because of the spinning.
Centrifugal.
Yeah.
Oof, that would
G-forces, yeah.
that would be. I can't imagine it.
Dude,
That would be so
You
scary.
can tell the pilot gets her maybe 50 feet off the ground, let's just say something moderate, and she's just spinning faster and faster, and he wants to fix it or do something, and you can tell it's going through his head. Well, I can't put her down because she's going to hit the ground and bump it while she's spinning. There's no way to get a line to her. The hospital's 12 minutes at all right, let's just fucking go. And he takes off, and that just makes her go faster. But there's no other answer. You can't just hover there until she stops. It'll be forever.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I love
when
it,
she gets to
like-
the end, like she's gonna rewind herself like some sort of child's toy and go back and forth.
The way I
You know what
handle
I
that
would
as
do?
the helicopter pilot is I get out and I act mad at her. I'm like, spinning the whole fucking trip, huh?
Hot dogging.
I risk my life for you, and you're spinning.
I feel like you could set her down in some tall hay or corn. Now, probably that wasn't
Desert.
available.
Rocks.
Yeah,
That was the environment.
Yeah,
I
it
want
was
to
I
say
love,
she got
I
like
love that she
80K.
sued them.
80K.
I love that she sued them, and she's like, "Yeah, you saved my life." Like, I was in a really shitty situation. You had to bring out a helicopter, and then I expected like a fucking Uber Black. Like, it's like,
Did she get 80K?
I
That was-
remember I have that number in my head. Dude,
That's
they spun the
hilarious.
fuck out
Wouldn't
of
it be
her.
funny if she won and still owed them like another 17K for the helicopter ride?
Yeah.
I'd expect
you
the
almost
helica-
flush, man.
after that, I'd expect the helicopter ride to be free. I'd be like, "Can I get this one?"
Oh
like, on
yeah.
gig?" Like,
Oh yeah. You know what?
but
I
like,
want to be able to take
yeah.
I want them to make that thing available to me anytime I want for life if they want to
Oh, yeah.
avoid a fucking
I
lawsuit
bet she
after
doesn't
that.
like helicopters.
I bet she
Yeah.
hates them.
I bet she has a
Oh.
strong aversion to them.
I
Yeah.
should. So I
Yeah.
have a GPS for when I do sporty shit, and I prepaid for medevac.
Ooh, fancy.
What? Did I? It was only $24 a year to prepay for your medevac ride. Is it possible? Should I just fake an ankle injury, or maybe the next time I get like a little cut, call for a
Dude,
medevac?
I think the $24.
100% yes.
I think the $24 covers like the call to medevac. Oh,
I know,
right?
No,
Luckily, you
Kyle.
pay your $24 a year, and so the call you made to us, no charge there, sir. However,
Yeah.
the fuel and the maintenance and the aircraft and the personnel and Dr.
Yeah, I
Richards,
would,
of course, being
yeah.
on staff for you, that's gonna run you.
It
like
seems too
several
good to be
tens-
true.
I would read that contract very carefully before doing that.
It's
Especially in
it's a lot of
America.
Dude,
work.
hit it right now. Hit it
For
right
the
now.
birds.
Yeah.
Let's see if they'll show up and chopper you out.
Well, it might be the same guy that was in the helicopter before. He might take you for a ride.
Right? Like we gotta spray some power lines on the way there.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Are you really hurt? Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
I
a
Ow.
saw the guy on YouTube. So before I did that ride in the winter, I watched other people do the same route to learn about it. And he failed on his. He thought he broke his leg. It turned out to just be sprained. And he called in a rescue helicopter to get him out of there.
Pussy.
And I was just like, wonder what this is America. Right? Anything medical will completely change your financial life until the day you die.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
We have a whole.
Yeah.
Even if, even if I,
Jesus,
even if
that's
I
bleak.
lost a leg, even if I was riding in this fuck,
Need
even if I was
armpits.
riding that track and I lost a fucking leg in America, I wouldn't call it. Oh, fuck that.
No,
Yeah.
you have any problem medically in America, it's $1 million. You like, dude, the worst thing in the world is dental insurance.
That's not real.
The
That's not
absolute
real.
fantasy that they are going to cover anything.
Oh,
You know what
yeah.
dental insurance covers? 2 annual cleanings.
Yep.
That's what
You know what it
dental
costs?
insurance
Out of pocket.
covers.
The amount of 2 annual
It
cleanings.
costs
Yeah.
the same as 2 annual cleaning. And then
Yeah.
like you go in, like I did like 4+ years ago when I got my fake teeth and was like, hey, you recommended this to me because it's medically necessary. I'm not doing this. I'm doing this to fix my bite. I submit that to my dental insurance. I have like my dentist sign off on it of like Taylor is not requesting this to look better. He's doing it to fix his bite because he has the teeth of a 120-year-old man. His molars are ground down so bad. That's literally what he said. And they said no. They said, fuck you. We're not covering any of it because this is classified as cosmetic. We don't care that it's fixing your bite and reducing your bruxism grinding issue. I think bruxism is what they call like grinding in your sleep very severely, which is what I do. If I don't do it anymore because I got my fucking teeth fixed, like, and it actually helped it. But no, that was like $7,000 out of pocket to just have.
Why didn't you go to Mexico?
Because I'm not fucking with that. Like I'd rather have a good solid.
I think you
dentist.
need to be more adventurous, Taylor. You're not enough of a risk taker.
I think
you're so risk averse, Taylor. You got to dip your toes.
Dip my toes in Mexican dentistry? No.
No. Dip your toes into chaos. Just a little chaos in your life. Like it doesn't have to be Mexican dentistry.
You think I need to be a little more jokerish,
Taylor,
a little more. You think I should be a little more? Why so serious in my life?
I know
next
a
time
paramotor
you cut yourself, go to a vet instead of a doctor. You know?
Yeah.
I know a paramotor pilot that needed major dental work, right? It was on the level of yours. It was costing tens of thousands of dollars. And he went to Costa Rica where they did it way cheaper. And he was satisfied with the work. However, in Costa Rica, they have wildly different standards on how much pain you're supposed to tolerate. And they used basically no Novocaine, no anesthesia, no nothing. It was the most painful experience of his life.
I mean, if it saved me $6,000, I might be interested. But yeah,
well, if he had known that he could have Costa Rica, you say he was just a hop, skip, and a jump from old Dr. LSD. Could have eased his pain and suffering right away.
Dude, your teeth problems don't even matter. Those are ethereal.
You just need to accept this pain.
That's the idea of human beings have an expectation of teeth not hurting, and that expectation itself is what's causing you to feel that pain.
Yeah, teeth are a human construct.
True. I'm a
sovereign. My big tooth.
I'm a sovereign citizen.